What's up, G's? This tutorial Thursday, I'm going to be showing you guys how to render out some crazy hairstyles. Alright, so here I have a couple of Beyonce images. It was requested by one of my friends that wanted to know how to, I guess, crop out some crazy hairstyles. So I'm just going to go over a few techniques that I use to crop out some crazy hairstyles. So let's just start with this one. We are going to go in and start from the top here. We're actually going to render through and keep in what I'd like to use and just cut out what I'd prefer not to use. So, and we're actually going to keep the original image as well. We're not going to just erase everything we don't use. We're going to use this original image as reference to kind of put these small strands back in, at least some of them, so it seems a little more natural. But normally with just rendering in general, you're going to want to use the pen tool, or with this it's called the paths tool, and I'm going to actually just cut this out from up here, so just give me one moment. Alright, so I'm not going to be doing this whole picture because I'm not going to be using this in my projects as of yet, because I'm just going to be showing you guys how to do these or how to utilize some of my techniques. So with this image, I just selected the general area that I'll be cutting out, and I'm going to duplicate this layer or duplicate this picture. Then I'm going to delete what I don't want. So let's just go ahead and hit the delete button. I've already selected it from the paths tool, so when you select paths up here, or select the B key on your keyboard, and then make your selection with the paths tool, and then you hit selection from path right here. Or you can go up here and it'll have all of your previous selections, and you just select the one that you recently did, which is usually on the top, and hit path to selection right here, and that will select that for you. So let's go ahead and hit the delete key to delete our selection. And you will run into this problem a few times where it won't be transparent. What you want to do is you're going to want to just undo what you just did, and then once you have this selected layer, go to layer, transparency, add alpha chan. That'll give it that transparency. So then go ahead and hit the delete key again, and it will be the same because we have the other image on the bottom. But if we move it around, you can obviously see that it's been cropped. So, and what I'm using to kind of go back is Control Z, just to quickly undo what I did. So Control Z and Control Y are your back and forth. So what we're going to do now is actually add in another layer so I can kind of determine what's on our edited layer and what's not. So I'm going to just add in like a black layer to see if that works. So let's just go ahead and add black and bring down the transparency to see our other strands of hair that aren't quite there, and see this lighter blue is what we still have. So what we're going to want to do is actually remove the hair here. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually doing a method that I thought would work, but it doesn't quite work. So I'm just speeding through this section of the video because later in the recording I found out that the second method worked 100 times better. So we are just going to skip or speed through to that other part and continue the video from there. I'm also going to be placing some of the audio from the original footage and kind of chopping it up and putting it right after this recording so that I can still show you some of the techniques that I used or mentioned. So here's that. So I apologize if there's a lot of jumps in this tutorial, but hair is quite hard to do. But the general idea is to kind of give it that natural transparency, I guess. Because sometimes it'll be kind of see-through and kind of transparent in a way to the actual background it's placed on. So what you're going to want to do is adjust your brush to certain opacity and certain size to make sure that you are giving it the right feel from if it was created on like a green screen or something. And another thing you can do is actually grab the color of the background, which apparently is this color right here. You select it with the color picker tool, select the color, then go to color to alpha after you select the area. What you're going to want to do is get this number here and paste it to here. And hit OK. And then that will take out all of the blue color that you don't want. Next, all you have to do is erase. And I have to say, this actually did a lot better job over the actual selecting yourself. So let's try it with a different section of hair. Let's try it for like right here. See if it actually removes these or keeps in the strands so that we can edit the strands ourselves. Let's try that. Color to alpha. And then you can go in and be really nitpicky with all of these other parts, these other colors in here. Bring down the opacity so it's not too as strong. And just make sure you use a thinner brush size so that you don't take out a lot of different areas in your cutout. So, because small strands of hair are not solid, they are very transparent actually, because they're so small. So in an image, they actually come off as transparent. So you want to try to make your character's hair strands transparent, at least from those parts that you can see are obviously transparent, where you can see the background color in the hair. Like sometimes you'll have like strands of hair like right here, which is questionable. Then you're going to want to edit that as well. So far this is looking pretty good. I like this method a lot better than my other method. Let's actually bring the transparency down a little bit. Let's try that one part again. So still want to keep kind of a little bit of dark because it still keeps the color of the hair kind of. So make sure we try and keep that the best we can here. I think I said this in my other video, but I don't know if Photoshop actually has a color to alpha option. Makes GIMP really shine, so that looks almost transparent if I'd say, but this back is very yellow, which is the same color of the hair, so we're going to want to change the color up a little bit to see if it does any different. So that's for an image with a very different colored background. But if we were to go to this one for a change, it'd be kind of the same deal, but these are very similar colors around here. So you have to be very picky with your strands of hair. You have to make sure that you aren't whiting out, because the background here is white. You want to make sure that you aren't accidentally whiting out like the white of her eyes, the white of her bracelet here, and a majority of this picture is white. So if I were to actually create a color here, doesn't really matter which color it is, so let's just go red. It's quite a bright red, and then I'm just gonna go the short route of the whole layer, transparent, add alpha channel. I'm just gonna go the short route. I'm just gonna hit Control A for select everything, and then Control C for copy, and it's just gonna copy all the pixels so I can move them. And then I'm gonna go to a new layer and then paste it, and that will give it an actual alpha background. So let's try and color to alpha the white in this picture, and then bring the red in. That's pretty much, the whole image has some form of white other than the obvious black part. So it's basically just taking all of the white out in the whole image. So right now all it is black pixels. That's it. And the same thing would happen if you did the black. So be careful, like I said, be picky with your selections when you go in here to do all these itty bitty strands. You're going to take quite a bit of time to do all that, but once it's done it will look fantastic. So there's that one, and then there's this one where you actually have light shining off of here. It will either make it easier or harder. So you can do one of two things. You can make the white transparent and just deal with the obvious strands, or you can keep the white in there and make that an obvious focal point in other graphic projects that you decide to put this in. So this is quite picky. I'm gonna see if I can go in here and kind of show you what I mean, but yeah. You're actually going to want to make sure that you take out this green too, and not just the blue. Okay, so I'm just going to do this area right here. I'm going to do the blue first. Okay, and when that happens for some reason, you drag the wrong thing and it drags this window out. You just drag this right here and drag it right back in, and it should do what you want it to. So if it doesn't want to work, then you're going to have to just close it and open it back up here. So add tab and colors is what I decided, what I accidentally dropped. So let's just grab this again. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna have to go in and erase all these darker spots. It looks like the green turned more of a yellow, but we still have a little bit of green up here. So anything that's yellow should be fine, because it still gives that shiny blonde feel. So you should be good there. But yeah, this takes quite a long time to do, because hair is very picky, very tedious. These obvious areas that I just know I won't need are obvious to me that they aren't strands. You want to delete all of the black, but none of the white that you see. Like say, so right here I see some white, up here I see some white. See, that doesn't look too bad. But it's just difficult to deal with light sometimes in hair, because it just seems to freaking shine up like this, especially like this. And then let's just get the green out of here. Color to alpha. Green. Okay. And that didn't take out quite the way I wanted it to, but that'll have to do. And if you have anything way too sharp like this for your liking, you can always use the smudge tool. So that's what I'm actually going to do here. There we go. But anyway, basically you just got to utilize what you have. So I show a few tools here that will help you in your journey of cutting out hair and whatnot. So hopefully this does help you to capture the graphics that you like, but just don't get frustrated with hair, even though it is a big pain in the butt. But that is a wrap for this video. If you would like me to go over any other particular details about cutting out or rendering hair, then go ahead and hit me up in the comment section below if there's something I didn't cover, most likely because it's just complicated. Rendering is a complicated thing. Anything else you'd like to know how to do, especially in rendering, go ahead and hit me up in the comment section below or on tweet mention at JKMGinger. I am Ginger at Ginger Republic, and thank you for watching this video. See you guys in the next one. Bye.